we put together a mentoring program for corporate communications called Commanders. It's a mentoring program for all corporate communication majors. The people that are involved in my team are Tim, Jenny, Jake, Jamal, Nick, Steven, and Joel. We put Commanders together to make understanding the corporate communication major easier, so you can put together classes and stuff easier, but not having to go through your advisor. Our objective is to increase the number of people in our major and make it easier to understand our major, therefore there's less confusion. The roles of our mentor and being a mentee, you have to be my bad, I read that wrong. The roles of a mentor is to take a mentee and make understanding the corporate communications major a lot easier. And the qualifications for being a mentor is to have a 3.0 GPA and be in the course for 4 semesters. And I will turn it over to
Joel. As you can see here, the qualifications for being a mentee, the ones we're looking for are freshmen, sophomores, and transfer students. Basically, people that are new to the major. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. And transfer students is one that can't be overlooked because freshmen and sophomores are the obvious ones, but like for someone like myself, I transferred in from junior college and had a major, so I got here and I kind of fell into the corporate communications major, and I would have really benefited from having something like this to help me. I think that having a deal with your peers, instead of having an advisor telling you, well, you can take this, this, and this, having a peer that said, I took this, and I really liked this, and I didn't like this, and this professor wasn't my favorite. I think for me that would have been more helpful. And then for our mentors, we want them to have at least 4 semesters as a major, or under the corporate communications major, and a 3.0 GPA in major classes. And to me, that that shows that not only are they dedicated students, but they want to be there. You don't want mentors that don't, that are doing it just for like a resume builder or anything like that. Like we want students that want to help their peers. It's the big deal. And like I said, I think it's enjoyable to get to counsel with your peers and stuff like that. To me, that's easier than having an advisor tell you what to do. Yeah, and we were going to partner up with obviously the communications department. We were thinking about having Dr. Williams or maybe Dr. Kodish sponsor the whole deal. And we're going to have a pairing system so that we can get kids with similar minors and career goals, academic goals, partnered up together. Because, like for example, athletes have tough schedules, and it's easy to talk to people who are also in athletics, so you can work around your sport and practice and stuff like that. And I'm going to pass it over to Nick, and he's going to tell you how we're going to run the whole deal.
Some ways that we planned on publicizing and promoting this course is through flyers. They can be hung around campus or the applicable groups. Mass emails, those can be sent to the majors. PowerPoints can be made, and those PowerPoints can be shown first day in class. To train our mentors, we can have subscription to our advisors. They can be like a monthly or weekly subscription. We can have text message services. Those can help our mentors and mentees communicate. Finally, we can have crash courses once or twice a month, like on the weekends or whatever. And in order to train our mentees, they must have 3 semesters in corporate communications. And I'm going to pass it over to Jamal. Jake to.
All right, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about how we're gonna fund this whole thing. Like what do we need to make this work? We don't need any money. It's kind of the best part about the deal is it's all on a volunteer basis. Mentors will be volunteers that require it's a good resume builder, so that's a good incentive for that. Any money that we might need for possible training courses or flyers or stuff that'll be on donation basis or fundraising, possibly through Comrades or Land of Paeta, the clubs that we have here in our department. So that's a great deal that we really don't need any funding because of that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the meetings, like what's going to be covered in it and stuff like that. So our meetings are going to be flexible. That's kind of what our whole program is based around, is flexibility. These meetings should be casual and information based. We don't want anything too formal. You guys don't have to dress up. We're not going to have like certain times that we're going to force them to meet. That's all going to be up to the mentor and the mentee. They're going to decide their schedule. They're going to decide if they want to meet face to face, if they want to meet virtually on Skype, through email, text messaging. But they should be information based. They should be mentee based. It should be like, what do they need to know? What should they know? And obviously the mentor can recommend information, stuff like that. So I'm going to talk about information. What's going to be covered in these meetings? Like what needs to be talked about? Obviously classes, recommended courses that they've taken from certain professors, stuff like that, stuff that might fit with their academic goals and stuff like that. Because we have a lot of courses that we could take, a lot of electives, and some classes might fit better with what they want to aspire to do. Clubs, as you can see, we have Comrades, which is our communications club, Land of Paeta's Honor Society. We have speech and debate, stuff like that. We have Speakers Lab, which I feel like is completely underutilized here in our department. And so having a mentor program might help that, get the word out, and like maybe they could tag along to the Speakers Lab meetings, stuff like that. They could help with your resume building. Other corporate communications majors, especially people who have been in the department for a while, know how to build a resume, especially around stuff that you've done in your major. Suggested minors, if you're undecided on a minor, which I know a lot of people are, they might help decide for minors that fit well with your goals and with the major in general. Our program requires you to have an internship. And I know a lot of people seem to put that off until like the very end. And so having a mentor there to help you guide and lead you towards that will help you as well.
Okay, so for where the mentors and mentees will meet, we have two different options, either on campus or virtually. Some of the on-campus locations would be the library, academic hall, towers, or the Success Center. And then we're very flexible, so people have the ability to choose wherever, and then they can go to whatever location they choose. For where the mentors will meet and check in with each other, we're going to try to ask for a teacher sponsor so that we can get a classroom and academic where we can all meet together. And then we're going to have an open forum on Moodle to where we can all communicate to each other, and we don't have to meet in person. We can just talk about things on the internet. And I'm going to pass it off to Jamal.
Talk about when mentees must meet with their mentors and create a schedule when they declare a corporate major. Mentees will meet their mentors once a month. If needed, they can meet more often with an appointment with a mentor. Like Jake said, it's flexible around the mentees, so it's always a mentor available for each student. It's a requirement of 2 semesters, and it can be expanded if needed.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of just wrap everything up, and this all kind of goes into why we believe our programs should be approved. Basically, first off, we have that detailed meeting schedule, which is going to help us be one of the most organized programs on campus, and that in turn will help our students and our participants get the most benefit out of our program. Also, we're teacher sponsored, or we hope to be, that's our goal. So being teacher sponsored gives us a little bit more credibility and oomph behind what we're trying to do. We have lots of communication avenues, like they were saying, like how we can reach out to students and find people that really need what our program has to offer. And then again, like our main, philosophy is that we're student-centered through flexibility. So really being flexible kind of keeps the students from having an excuse, oh, I can't make that meeting, oh, I don't want to go tonight, whatever. So it's really, really on you. It's, up to you to decide how much you need and when you need it. And again, like Tim was saying, we're powered by donations, which is awesome. We're not asking for money or grants from anybody. We're pretty self-sufficient in that area. And then finally, it does fill a need. And I think going back to what Joel was saying about how it was hard when he transferred in and kind of fell into the map because he didn't have a program like this. And I too kind of felt the same way. Like, I know personally being an athlete with soccer, it's really easy to fall into the map because we also have the Success Center, which is more for like athletic advising, and it's hard to not get swept up in that. Like, it's easier to go there than to go to your major advisor, and then once they do start like brushing you on and like they want you to go and see your major advisor, you're kind of lost because you don't really know much about them or like how that whole process goes. So just having something like that would be helpful. I think Tim had something to say on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I switched into the major kind of late. I kind of got my bearings a little later. Once I took SD 105, that's when I knew I wanted to be a communications major. So I kind of got in there late, and I know I would have gotten involved a lot sooner with comrades and stuff like that if I would have had something to tell me about these programs. I didn't really know that we had a club until just this year, earlier in the semester, and so I would have gotten involved sooner, and I feel like I would have, you know, been more involved just in general with the whole major, my classes and stuff, if I would have had a mentor there to help guide me to that. So I'm going to pass over to Stephen, and he's going to talk about Flyer, which we have an example of. Pull up.
Going off like what Tim just said about getting involved earlier, we want to get people involved with this as soon as possible. So we kind of just put together a short little flyer that we want to post up all around campus. I was going to use you guys as guinea pigs. It's like, you know, like, would that capture your attention? And like, we didn't want to make it too wordy where you walk by and you have to stand there for a while and actually read it, but it had enough information on it where it gets you excited and it kind of gets you interested in it. But if you guys were to see that, would you be interested in something like that? Like, if it was just hanging up in the hallway or something, would you stop and look at it? Because we want something that people are going to stop and look at and actually get interested in. So we kind of would like your input.
Might want to change the black letters to white.
Black letters to white?
Yeah.
Catch your attention a little better? Okay.
No comment. If I saw that, I'd be like, cool, but.
Well, I mean, we got the, you know, to get to your advisor, but,
Oh.
I mean, we can't really put all our phone numbers on there.
Oh.
Good.
I mean, we could, but.
Oh, I was stretching, but,
Oh.
or even if you had like a single email, like just like a general email to direct all questions. Or
Like our teacher sponsor?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely put that on there once we got our teacher sponsor. But, yeah, that's our little give up.
All right, that's the presentation. Thank you guys.